Well, those are the two head coaches that are meeting with our umpiring crew today. At first base is Josh Rager. Josh Baxter will umpire at second. Trent Powers is in the rocking chair at third. And Mike Federer will call the balls and strikes here for this one today. This crew will also work the second game of this Class 3A semifinals. And a little bit about the two head coaches. The guy on the left is the head coach at Bishop Heelan, and that is Andy Osborne. He picked up his 500th career win earlier this year, 453 wins overall. And there on the Wahlert Catholic side is Corey Tischer in his 12th year, 298 lifetime wins for him. If he is to get career win number 300, they would be celebrating with a big trophy on Friday evening. For Wahlert Catholic, they are going to go with Brandon Cummer on the mound. He played right field yesterday. Cummer making his 12th appearance, his 10th start, a 6-2 record. You see that 3.45 ERA, 50 2/3 innings pitched, and he has struck out 67. The defense behind him will be Fodi Rigopoulos. He DH'd yesterday. He's playing left field today. Will Specht is in center, and Isaac Pfeiffer moves from left field to right field. On the infield, Parker Studman gets the start at third base, and there's a story there we'll talk about. J.P. Elbert is at short. Alex Kerman is the second baseman. Spencer Cummer is over at first, and Bodie Nagelmaker is the veteran catcher for this Wahlert Catholic team that was here a year ago and lost in the semifinals, and they have three of their returning starters back. Let's take a look at the Bishop Heelan Crusader batting order, and it is really loaded at the top four spots. Chabanas is a 344 hitter, Bleeker at 382, LeFevre, the pitcher, a 382 hitter, and then Baker, the cleanup hitter, is a two-time All-State member of that team. So we're ready to go here in this first of two Class 3A semifinals. And George Chabanas, the senior, will lead things off for Bishop Heelan. And Cummer pumps a strike right by him to start this one. Right down the middle. Cummer ahead in the count. That one downstairs. Brandon Cummer, you may remember yesterday in that game, a very bad collision when he was playing right field. And head coach Corey Tischer didn't know whether he was going to be able to hit. The plan was for him to pitch this game, but he was in some tough shape. Could not walk last night. They did some rehab on him, and it was a game-time decision whether he was going to pitch today. This one is lifted out to left center. That is over the head of everyone, and that is a peck of trouble. Chabanas stands at second with a leadoff double. And for Bishop Heelan, a good start to this Class 3A semifinal. See, Chabanas got a pitch on the outside part. Just drove it into the gap. Very easily into second base is the Crusader leadoff man. Now that's going to bring up Jaron Bleeker, the right fielder. He was the starting pitcher a couple of days ago, and he was outstanding. That win over Pella. He hits 382. Pitch way outside. That's going to give Chabanas an opportunity to go third, and he does so. So now Bishop Heelan's really got something going there with a runner at third and nobody out. Waiting to see how they score that. See that Chabanas read that instantly and got a great jump. Ball popped out of the glove of Nagelmaker. Didn't go very far. And they score that a wild pitch. Bleeker comes up empty on that breaking ball. Wahlert Catholic defense playing back. They are willing to concede the run here in this first inning. Sedman at third, guarding the line. You can see that, a lot of gap between third and short. Throw down, and they got him. Chabana's leaning too far, and the catcher Nagelmaker with a peg down at third. And that changes this inning a bit. Two-one count to Bleeker. Lifts this one in the air over the first baseman's head. And Spencer Cummer giving chase. Could not quite catch up to it. Left-handed sophomore will bring the 2-2 home. And that one got away from the catcher Nagelmaker. Bleeker heads down to first. And he is safe, so it's a strikeout, but Bleeker advances to first. And that's going to bring in the pitcher, Caleb LeFevre. First pitch to LeFevre is in there for a strike. Bleeker leaning back. And a breaking ball, strike two to LeFevre. LeFevre hitting .382 on the year, a couple of home runs. Probably has not seen too much left-handed pitching. This one is popped foul and into the seats behind the Bishop Heelan dugout. Bleeker back easily. You see the lead by the future Hawkeye. That one just missed inside. Good idea by Cummer, but just missed it a little bit on the inside part. Good stop. Nagelmaker, catcher. This one is lifted in the air into left center field and a long way to go. And Speck closing fast. Out number 2. Will Speck got an outstanding jump on that ball. That looked like that was going to be trouble in the gap. Speck closing on it. And now Brady Baker, the senior, steps to the plate for Bishop Heelan. Baker is a .319 hitter. He's been on the All-State team the last 2 years. Bleeker is going. Breaking ball. Good pitch to run on. The throw down, but got him anyway. So a couple of base runners caught stealing. Bleeker cut down. Strong throw from Nagelmaker. Good tag. This is the Hy-Vee Championship Network. All right, there's somebody enjoying the action here today. Just underway in this first inning in the Class 3A semifinals. We'll take a look at the Bishop Heelan starting pitcher. And they are also throwing a sophomore. That is Caleb LeFevre, making his 10th start of the year, 11 appearances overall, 6-1 record. At 1.65 ERA, 55 innings pitched. He has struck out 69 on the year. The defense for him, It has George Chabanas in left, Brady Baker in center, Jaron Bleeker is in right. The infield, Hunter Walhab is at third, Sean Schaefer the shortstop, Carson Fitch is at second, Ethan Erickson is at first, Raiden Erickson the catcher. And our first hitter for Wahlert Catholic is the junior Will Speck. Speck's a .350 hitter. Got some sock as well. 3 home runs on the year for him. And this Wahlert Catholic team, they play in a pretty big ballpark themselves. They play in a park that goes about 320 down the lines, 325 in fact down the lines, 410 in straightaway center. That's even bigger than the dimensions we have here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. There you see 315, that wall at left. We've had 2 balls that have left the yard so far in the quarterfinal round. Full count to Speck. Fouls that one away. Count remains the same. Speck, Kerman, and Regopoulos. First 3 up. And Speck draws the leadoff walk. Let's take a look at that Wahlert Catholic batting order. And it's really front-loaded there. The first 4 are the ones that do the most damage. Elbert, the freshman, batting 5th. He's had a good year as well. But most of the damage for Wahlert Catholic is right there in that top part of the order, including this guy here, Alex Kerman, the senior second baseman. He's headed to Simpson for his college baseball. Not too many seniors on this Wahlert Catholic starting unit. Speck, 19 of 21 in stolen bases this year. And that one is wide of the mark. Speck is going to get a chance to go to second. He's going to look for one more. On his way to third and in there easily. The 2-base throwing error. And now, kind of like Bishop Heelan had, a runner on third with nobody out. See, that was way wide of the mark. Ethan Erickson, the first baseman, had no chance, and then it started rattling around down that right field line. Bleeker's strong arm in right field could not do anything about Speck getting all the way over to third. And now the Bishop Heelan defense. The infield conceding the run except at third. Walhab is just in on the cut of the grass. And you can see how they're playing it. The left fielder, Chabanos, is also shallow. That's in there for a strike. This one is popped in the air. This is going to stay on the infield for the most part. Chabanos, though, does come in and call off the shortstop. Speck cannot move. And Lefebvre gets the easy pop-up out into left field, so Kerman isn't able to drive the run home. And that's going to leave it up to the junior left fielder, Fody Regopoulos. Regopoulos was the starting pitcher in that quarterfinal round 1-0 win over Central DeWitt. Went 7 innings strong, gave up just 3 hits. And this one is lifted foul, out of play over the first base side. Runner at third is the leadoff man, Speck. Walk, advanced to third on a pickoff throw that went wild. That breaking ball stays up high. This one is grounded, but foul at third. You can see the base runner, Speck, dodging it, making sure that he's in foul territory. A 1-2 count to Rigopoulos. The favor looking for the strikeout. That one wide of the mark. Braden Erickson, a good job keeping that in front. Down and in. Now the count works full. This one is lifted in the air to center field. This should bring the run home. Baker settles underneath, but no chance at all to get the speedy Will Speck. And Wahlert Catholic is on the board thanks to the throwing air and the sacrifice fly by Fody Rigopoulos. See Speck is very easily able to cross the plate. And now with the bases cleared, Bodie Nagelmaker, the junior catcher, steps in. Nagelmaker, a .297 hitter. One of the few returning starters from last year's semifinal round team. Speck, the center fielder, one of the others. Rigopoulos, mainly DH last year, as a ground ball. First baseman Ethan Erickson, he'll take it himself. And that retires the side. A leadoff walk, thanks to an error, does come around to score. We have played one. Wahlert Catholic with a lead. This is the Hy-Vee Championship Network.
Cast of the Iowa High School Athletic Association State Championships is presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud to champion Iowa's youth.
Oh, choices, so many choices. Mint chocolate chip, by the way, double scoop. I think I'll be just fine. I don't care. You put it in a helmet, waffle cone, whatever. That's my choice. Bring it on up here. I'll just be silent for a while, let the pictures take over. Top of the second inning, Brady Baker was at the plate when Chabanos got picked off. So he's actually seen a few pitches for Brandon Cummer in this second inning work. Looks at a breaking ball strike. Baker headed to Iowa Western for his college baseball. .319 hitter, 3 home runs. And some foul tips that one. Wonder how many of these right-handed hitters with home run pop. Look at that .315 wall and left. Now starts to water a little bit. Swings and misses at a breaking ball out of the zone. And Cummer gets his first strikeout of the day. See, Baker was looking for something to break in, and instead Cummer turned it over a little bit. Got it away from him. Sean Schaefer, the senior shortstop, also headed to Iowa Western. You can see Schaefer's not very tall, but he's popped 5 home runs on the year. Down even now at 1. lays off that. And he went around. 2-2 the count. Bishop Heelan making their 20th state tournament appearance. That's fourth most in state history. Trying to get back into the championship game for the first time since 2005. Just missed inside. Count goes full. Wahlert Catholic was in this championship game a couple of years ago. In fact, more than that, back in 21. Swing and a miss. Schaefer goes down on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts recorded by Comer. Just tied him up right above the hands. Junior first baseman Ethan Erickson steps to the plate. 9 home runs for him. This Bishop Heelan team leads Class 3A in home runs. Third in all of the state in team home runs. This one is pop foul, straight back. This one is driven into right, but right at Isaac Pfeiffer. Had he played perfectly, and the line drive is out number 3. So a 3 up, 3 down inning that time at the top of the second for Bishop Heelan. Oh, that looks so darn good, doesn't it? This is the Hy-Vee Championship Network. This Class 3A semifinal has the top 4 seeds. Those are the Comets from North Polk. They are the 3 seed. There you see some of the folks from Marion, the Marion Wolves, that are underneath the tunnel. That is coming up after this game. Nate Clayburg's going to have that one for you. And for Wahlert Catholic, they'll start this second inning with 5, 6, 7 hitters in the lineup. This is a freshman, J.P. Elbert. 368 hitter. A bit outside. This one is fisted but foul. Into the netting down the right field side. Sophomore LaFavor brings it home to the freshman, and a swing and a miss struck him out. Home plate umpire said to Raiden Erickson, "Yep, you held on." So second strikeout of the day for LaFavor. Now a message from Mid-American Energy.
It's our job to keep you safe. If you see a down power line, assume it's live and dangerous. Keep yourself and others at least 30 feet away. Then call 911 to get it taken care of.
This is Parker Studman, the junior third baseman, 340 hitter. This is his first at-bat since July 7th. He broke a finger, came back a week ago. It had been a courtesy runner for the most part. This one is hit foul. Studman, just a junior. Just missed. Favor pumped that fastball in there. That got the attention of Studman. Laid off that breaking ball. And a 3-2 count. rifled foul. And a swing and a miss. Studman was all over that fastball. LeFevre took a lot off that one. Good smart pitching there by the sophomore. And now his counterpart, sophomore Brandon Comer, the Wahlert Catholic pitcher, steps in. He's a .339 hitter. Throws left, bats left. Could catch up to that high fastball. Showing bunt, and bunted it foul. Now the count at 1-2. Well, since the leadoff walk, LeFevre's actually retired 5 in a row. What really hurt him was the errant pickoff throw that allowed Will Speck to go from first to third. And a swing and a miss. Struck out the side. LeFevre looking good so far. Wahlert, though, that one run in the first inning, that's been all that we got. You can see LeFevre there just doing the spin, headed to the dugout. This is the Hy-Vee Championship Network. Now, pretty good fan representation that has been here for this new site for the Class 3A and 4A baseball championships here in Cedar Rapids, Veterans Memorial Stadium. And we hope that most of the rain has gone past us for this week. We've had games that have been pushed into the last couple of days because of rain. A 7:30 game has been played the next morning on each of the days. But now we are back on our schedule. Braden Erickson, the catcher, is scheduled up right now. .286 hitter. He is a senior, headed to Southeast Nebraska Community College. And he skies this one in the air. Pfeiffer, the right fielder, camps underneath. That is out number 1. Brandon Comer, sophomore. He was having trouble even walking last night. I'm sure that head coach Corey Tischer is pleased with what he has seen so far from the left-hander. Now Carson Fitch pounds one into left field on the first one that he sees. And the junior second baseman is aboard with the second hit of the day. And both of those belonging to Bishop Heelan. That's going to bring up the number 9 hitter, junior third baseman Hunter Wahab. Pitch 6 of 8 in stolen bases. You talk about some of the left-handed hitters that don't see left-handed pitching very often. And then if you're a base runner, you just don't see that move from a left-hander all that much during the regular season. Sometimes that can take some getting used to. There you can see Fitch was breaking back on the pitch, and Wahab pounds this one into the gap. Fitch taking the turn at second. He's going to be waved home. He will make it easily, and we are tied. Back-to-back hits by the number 8 and number 9 hitters in this Bishop Heelan lineup. And it's the second baseman, Wahab, with the RBI double to tie this one up. That one left out over the middle of the plate. Plugged that gap. Fitch, once he got the read on it, he got around the bases really good fashion. This one bounces up in front of Nagelmaker. He was trying to find it. And Wahab's going to scoot over to third. Now with one out, George Chabatas started the game with a double. Chance to drive in a run for Bishop Heelan. Wahlert Catholic defensively is going to bring the corners in this time. And a strike call. Chabanos, a senior, .344 hitter coming into play today. He's added to that. Can't catch up to that high fastball. Wind is blowing in. It's going to knock balls down today. Coming straight in from center field. Now the second baseman, Kerman, comes in on the grass. Good block by Nagelmaker. That's going to run the count full. That's not going to help anybody. Fly ball. This should bring the run home. Center fielder Speck catches it, and his throw not in time as Walhop scores the run, and Bishop Heelan on top thanks to the sacrifice fly from George Chabatas. And you can see there the third base coach, head coach Andy Osborne, giving him the starter's signal. Now the bases are empty for Jaron Bleeker, and he lines one into left center field. That is a base hit. Speck gets it in quickly and keeps Bleeker at first. See, Bleeker took that turn and hit that muddy part of the first base bag. That first base bag collected some dirt on it, both in the orange and the white part. Now the pitcher, Caleb LeFevre, steps to the plate. That's hopefully they can get that cleaned off here at some point. That could create a problem. Now even at one. Sophomore against sophomore. And this one is fisted foul. Got a couple of kids there. Just went over their head. Oh, somebody got that with a glove. There were three kids standing in front with gloves, and then that young man in the blue and white hat right at him. Said, yeah, you just got to know how to play these things. 2-2 the count. Well, Comer had a pretty easy second inning. This third inning started out well, but 2 hits, a sacrifice fly, and then another base hit. Bleeker just couldn't really get a good read on that move. Lifted in the air. Left fielder Regopoulos right there. That is the third out of the inning. But damage done by Bishop Heelan. They score a couple of runs on 3 base hits. They leave a man, and it's Bishop Heelan with a lead on the Hy-Vee Championship Network. Well, there is a look at our 3A field. Top 4 seeds all advancing. Wahlert Catholic got here on a walk-off. Number 3 North Polk advanced on a walk-off. Marion had a 5-inning game. And then Bishop Heelan holding off Pella 3-1. That game came down to the final hitter. An opportunity for Pella. First hitter for Wahlert Catholic is the designated hitter, Carter Brandt. And he fists one, a ground ball that LeFevre takes care of for out number 1 in the home half of the 3rd inning. That's going to bring up the number 9 hitter, and we've got a pinch hitter already. So Isaac Pfeiffer, the starting right fielder, and we're going to have a pinch hitter, Joe Hinker, Jr., will hit for him. Hinker, a .289 hitter. And he's offering at the first pitch, and this one is fisted. Second baseman Carson Fitch takes care of that one. So 2 pitches, 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Now we go to the top of the order, and Will Speck, he scored the only run, first run of the game for Wahlert Catholic when he walked, got the 3rd on the air on a pickoff throw, and came home on a sacrifice fly. Speck is a junior. This one is lifted foul out of play. There's the choo-choo. You'll hear that quite a bit with our crowd microphones. This one is sent into center field, and the first hit of the day for Wahlert Catholic, and it comes from the leadoff man, Speck. And he is aboard with 2 out.
Second baseman, Alex Kerman.
That is going to bring in Alex Kerman, the second baseman. We'll see if the running game is in order. Throw over to first. Beck 19 of 21 in stolen bases. Got a pretty good lead over at first. Not going. And a ball down low to Kerman. Kerman, a couple of home runs on the year. He's going. Swing and a miss. And the throw down, not in time. Strong throw by Raiden Erickson, but Speck just outran it. Not a bad jump. Throw just a little bit to the third base side, but Speck with that good speed, able to get into scoring position. So Kerman looking at a 1-1 count. And Kerman calls time. This inning started with 2 pitches and a couple of groundouts by Brandt, and then the pinch hitter Hinker. Ground ball right at the first baseman, Ethan Erickson. He steps on the bag, and the 2-out single is left stranded. We have played 3. Bishop Heelan leads it over the number 1 team in the state. This is the High V Championship Network. Now that is a landmark building here in Cedar Rapids, that Quaker Oats building. That's somebody who's just had enough. We go to the top of the 4th inning. 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Bishop Heelan. Brady Baker, struck out back in the second inning. He lifts this one foul. Hinker has who hit for Pfeiffer. Hinker comes in and plays second base, and then the second baseman Alex Kerman moves over to right field. Those are the defensive changes for Wahlert. One and two the count. I'll tell you, we'll watch Brandon Cummer very closely in this inning. He threw 18 pitches in that third inning. And again, that collision from yesterday in that quarterfinal round matchup that they had with Central DeWitt. He was playing right field, and there was a collision out in the outfield. He was taken out of the game defensively, remained in the batting lineup, but it was a game time decision whether he was going to get the call today. John Schaefer, he was a strikeout victim back in the second. Remember, he struck out 3 on the day. Hasn't walked anybody. Now to count 1 and 2. He's collected a couple of souvenirs. Showing bunt, and that one is foul. Strikeout recorded.
First baseman, Ethan Erickson.
Now Ethan Erickson, junior first baseman. Erickson, a .276 hitter coming in. The big burly first baseman has pumped out 9 home runs on the year. Got a home run cut there. Just hitting on that metal railing right in front of the first row of the bleachers. First of 2 Class 3A semifinal games. Marion and North Polk are nightcap. Then the 2 semifinal winners today will meet at 5 o'clock Friday, Championship Friday. Swing and a miss. Nagelmaker, good throw down, and the side is retired. Struck out the side, did Cummer in that inning. A good 4th inning for him. This is the High V Championship Network. Look at our Sukup Stats Summary, brought to you by Sukup Manufacturing Company. Farm quality products to offer more quality time with your family. And you can see the 2 pitchers have been really, really good today. That big hit, that RBI double by Wahop of Bishop Heelan. Will Speck has been on base twice for Wahlert Catholic. He's the only one that's been on base, and he scored the lone Golden Eagle run. So we go to the bottom of the fourth inning, 3, 4, and 5 hitters to face Caleb Lefevre, sophomore pitcher who started in their sub-state semifinal game for Bishop Heelan, a game that they won over Lamar's 9-8. They got up 6-0 in that game, and then had to bring in any and every pitcher they had to try to win it, and that included their ace Bleeker. And they ended up winning the sub-state final over Sergeant Bluff Luton without the availability of their top 2 pitchers. This one grounded Schaefer, strong throw from short to first, and Cody Rigopoulos is retired with the first out, bottom of the fourth inning. Both teams playing pretty clean baseball so far. The lone error was that throwing error by Lefevre, trying to pick off Specht in the first inning. Odie Nagelmaker grounded out his first time up. Hits this one on a line, but right at Brady Baker. That is the second out of the inning. Lefevre had an 8-pitch third inning. Quickly mowing through the first 2 in the home half of the fourth. And J.P. Elbert, the freshman, is going to step out, slow the pace down a little bit. He's going to go over and have a conversation with his third base coach, the head coach, Corey Tischer. Spins away from that one. Albert 1 for 2 in that quarterfinal round matchup against Central DeWitt. This one is grounded, and Lefevre using that height advantage, spears it, and the side is retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Golden Eagles. Lefevre is on a roll right now. The Bishop Heelan tall right-hander, spearing it, retiring the side. This is the Hy-Vee Championship Network.
Podcast of the Iowa High School Athletic Association State Championships is presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud to champion Iowa's youth.
Well, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for Bishop Heelan. However, that's where the damage was done in the third inning. The Crusaders scored both runs in the third inning from the number 8 and number 9 spots. Braden Erickson, the senior catcher, 0 for 1 on the day. Erickson had a hit in that quarterfinal round win over Pella. Bit inside. Talk about Brandon Cummer. Really had a laborious third inning, but the fourth inning got back on track. This one is grounded. Third baseman Studman. Long throw over, and that one is over the head of everyone. That is going to allow Erickson to get into scoring position. And so Erickson is aboard. Studman had to go to the right. A long throw. And no chance at that at all. And we'll get a courtesy runner of Drew Ewell. See Erickson getting the high fives. He'll get the gear on. And the senior Ewell will run for him. Now Carson Fitch, who started everything back in the third inning with a 1-out single. He is showing, but it is a good one. Studman looking at third, now throws to first and in the dirt. As Spencer Cummer couldn't come up with it, and everybody is safe. can see the indecision really cost him. As Studman took a look at third, then rushed the throw, and Cummer could not come up with it. So back-to-back errors for the Wahlert Catholic third baseman. So Ewell, the courtesy runner at third, Fitch is at first, and Hunter Wahab, who drove in the first run for Bishop Heelan with a left center field double. He steps in. 323 hitter coming into play today. This one is grounded to third. They're going to come home with it, and the throw hits the runner. Fitch scoots all the way over to third. Wahab is at first. Good strong throw. Would have gotten Ewell easily, but it just hit off the left bicep. Now head coach Corey Tischer is going to come out and kind of settle things down. Bishop Heelan puts one on the board in this inning. So 3 errors in the inning. And there's still a lot of trouble here that Wahlert Catholic is in. There's runners at the corners, nobody out. Now it's the top of the lineup for Bishop Heelan. George Chabanas, the left fielder, steps to the plate. Doubled back in the first, drove in a run with a sacrifice fly in the third. And first offering to him is ball one. Another throw over. This one is hit into left field, sinking, caught by Rigopoulos. Quickly over, and they get the double play. As Fitch wandered too far from third. Rigopoulos, a strong throw. Studman, very alertly, the third baseman gets it over to his shortstop. And that changes the complexion completely, because now it's 2 out and just a runner on first. And Jaron Bleeker steps to the plate. Bleeker struck out in the first, but was able to take first on the wild pitch. He singled in the third. And this one is sprayed foul down that right field side. See a little bullpen action going for Wahlert Catholic. Will Piero Jr. getting loosened up. He was going to start if Cummer was not able to answer the call today. Good stop by Nagelmaker, the catcher. Bleeker thought he was hit by the pitch. Federer is our home plate umpire, and he indicated nothing of the sort. And wandering too far off that time at first was Wahlert. Wahlert got back in safely, and then he just took a step off the bag, and Spencer Kummer very alertly kept the tag on. And you can see it right there. Well, a strange way to end that bottom of the, or that top of the fifth inning. Bishop Heelan had bases loaded, nobody out. Now watch his pickoff. And then he has his left foot on the orange bag, the safety bag. That is only in play when a base runner is running from home to first on a ground ball. Otherwise, you got to keep your foot on that white part of the bag. So Wahlert had his foot on the orange part, and that's the equivalent of being off the base. And Spencer Kummer, the first baseman of Wahlert Catholic, very alert to that. And he reapplied the tag. And so Bishop Heelan had bases loaded, nobody out, and the leadoff batter up. They lose everybody on the bases, and nobody left on. A weird line score from that top of the fifth inning. 6, 7, and 8 hitters for Wahlert Catholic. Parker Studman, the third baseman, is the leadoff guy. He dribbles one into that no man's land. Lefebvre, though, pounces off the mound and gets him for the out, or out number one. Time now for a message from Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, it's our job to keep you safe. If you see a down power line, assume it's live and dangerous. Keep yourself and others at least 30 feet away. Then call 911 to get it taken care of.
Now the pitcher, Brandon Kummer, is the next one up. He struck out back in the second inning. Lefebvre has struck out 3, and they all came in that second inning. He has retired 13 of the 14 outs that he has recorded. Will Specht is the only one that has reached base for Wahlert Catholic. That one just missed outside. Dribbled foul. Caleb Lefebvre had an 8-pitch third inning, a 7-pitch fourth inning. Brandon Kummer's making him work, though. And this one is just served into right field and a base hit. So Kummer helps himself with a one-out base hit. And he'll leave for a courtesy runner. And running for him is the senior Brevin Hawkinson. Hawkinson's the one that scored that game-winning run in the quarterfinal round matchup. Interesting story. He would have been their starting shortstop this year, but broke a finger, and this is the third year in a row that the senior Hawkinson has had a season-ending injury, and so he has been relegated to courtesy runner duty, and Coach Corey Tischer cannot speak highly enough of that young man. Hawkinson is at first. Carter Brandt, the designated hitter, is at the plate. And the first pitch to him is outside for a ball. Brandt grounded out his first time up. 274 hitter. And now 2-0 the count. There's a strike. Favor's given up just 2 hits in this game. Hawkinson back in easily. Ground ball up the middle. Second baseman Finch over to short for 1. The turn in time. And a double play. So Bishop Heelan up the middle. The 4-6-3 double play. Finch to Schaefer. Erickson. This is the High V Championship Network. We move into the top of the 6th inning, and Bishop Heelan will have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters up. See some long faces right now for the Wahlert Catholic students, but still plenty of baseball to be played. Still got 6 more outs to go. Jaron Bleeker was at the plate when all that madness ended the top of the 5th inning. 1 for 2 today. Headed to the University of Iowa for his baseball career, where he will most likely be a pitcher. Now he was hit on the tootsies with that one, and Bleeker will trot down to first. He's on for the 3rd time today. And the pitcher, Caleb Lefevre, steps to the plate. Lefevre's flied out both his attempts. That breaking ball is a strike. Bleeker is 19 of 22 in stolen bases. You can see he's just having a tough time getting a read on the left-hander Brandon Cummer. You also see Spencer Cummer, the first baseman, waiting a long time seeing how Bleeker would come off that first base bag. There's a throw down. You can see the Heelan players now just really hugging that white part of the bag. Well, it's tough to tell between white and orange right now. See how choosy Lefevre gets with a 2-1 count in his favor. This one is grounded. Fair, first base bag. Spencer Cummer steps on the bag. Now they're going to call it foul. Looks like the home plate umpire. That is Mike Federer. He has that call up to the first base bag, and he emphatically jumped out at home plate and ruled that one foul. So it's a 2-2 count. See, Bleeker's lead is just basically falling down to the first base bag. Sometimes when you can't get a read, you might take a step and a dive. Fly ball. The center fielder Speck trots in. That is out number 1, the 6th inning. So Lefevre is retired, and now Brady Baker steps to the plate. Baker's had a tough day. Struck out a couple of times. 319 hitter. 2-time All-Stater. He was on the 3rd team as a sophomore. 2nd team All-Stater last year. Bleeker's generating a lot of attention from the Wahlert Catholic defense. fouled into the netting right above the Wahlert Catholic dugout. Baker headed to Iowa Western for his college baseball. The senior with an 0-2 offering, up high. Throw down, and Bleeker is caught stealing. Bleeker looked like he had a little bit of a delay. And the throw down, good tag by Elbert, the shortstop. Now 2-2 the count to Baker. So Bishop Heelan has lost 4 base runners today. Chabanos was picked off in the first inning. That went catcher to third. And then that wild 5th inning, Carson Fitch was doubled off of third on a fly ball to left field. Hunter Walhop was picked off of first. And Baker goes down swinging for the 3rd time here. So the leadoff base runner is extinguished. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The number 1 seed down by 2. Hy-Vee Championship Network. Now Bishop Heelan with the 2-run lead as we move into the home half of the 6th inning. Remember, the Iowa High School Sports Network will name our tournament MVP award winner, fueled by Iowa Beef. We'll do that at the conclusion of Friday night's Class 4A championship game. Now the 9-1 and 2 hitters for Wahlert Catholic, and Joe Hinker is hit by a pitch. Hinker did not start the game. He came in as a pinch hitter in the 3rd inning, and since then took over at second base. And now Will Speck, the leadoff hitter, steps in. Speck reached on a walk, scored the lone run for Wahlert Catholic in the 1st, singled back in the 3rd, stole a base, grounds this one to the first baseman Erickson. He goes to second and cuts down the lead runner, Hinker. That goes 3-6. And now Speck to board with the fielder's choice. That's going to bring up Alex Kerman, the second baseman. Or excuse me, the right fielder now. He started at second base. Now is the right fielder. Well, Speck stole a base back in the 3rd inning. Down 2 with a couple of home run hitters up for Wahlert Catholic. You would think that he would be staying put. Two and 0. Kerman, and now that's going to get a visit from Raiden Erickson, the Bishop Heelan catcher. The returning starters from last year's team. Each team won their conference, for Bishop Heelan winning the Missouri River Conference, their first since 2014. Wahlert Catholic winning the Mississippi Valley, Mississippi division. A lot of 4A schools in that one. And their 34 wins this year for Wahlert Catholic, a school record. Not bad considering they lost 6 really good starters from last year's state semifinal team. Back easily. Marion and North Polk, our other 3A semifinal game. That's coming up after this one today. Now 3-1 the count to Kerman. inside. Might have clipped Fitch, but it's ball 4. Now a couple of runners on. And we're going to get a visit to the mound. And you can see Caleb Lefebvre shaking that right hand. And it's almost as if there might be a blister that's starting up on that right hand. Well, he has been outstanding today. You'd hate to see his day end because of that. That might just be the case. This is a long conversation. Now it does break up. And head coach Andy Osborne is going to retreat back to the bench. Now the Wahlert Catholic head coach, Corey Tischer's going to call timeout. We might be getting a pinch runner for Kerman, and we are getting that. So Brody Schumacher, a sophomore, is going to come in and run. There is Schumacher. He is the potential tying run. And Fodi Rigopoulos steps in. Rigopoulos, a .320 hitter. 0 for 1 today, I should say. RBI sacrifice fly in the first. 3 home runs on the year for him. Missed inside. Grounded to the third baseman, over to second for 1, throw to first, and not in time. As Rigopoulos beats the throw. Wahop, good job and very decisive, headed over to second. You can see Speck kind of frozen, didn't know what to do. Didn't want to run into the out. And Rigopoulos beating the throws, keeps the inning alive. Now runners at the corners for the cleanup man. Bodie Nagelmaker, the catcher. He went 2 for 3 in yesterday's 1-0 win by Wahlert Catholic over Central DeWitt. And he took a home run cut at that one. Came up empty. Nagelmaker's a .297 hitter coming in. 0 for 2 on the day. He looks at strike 2. Faber had some easy innings in the middle part of this game. This one has been challenging for him. Rigopoulos, the runner at first. Speck is the runner at third. Wind is blowing in. Nagelmaker, ground ball. That is through the hole and a base hit. A run scores. Wahlert Catholic has cut the deficit to 1. Rigopoulos stops at second. And an RBI single by Bodie Nagelmaker. Makes it a 1-run game. Just a ground ball with eyes.
Courtesy runner for the Golden Eagles, number 19,
Gavin Reedy is the courtesy runner for Nagelmaker. now the freshman J.P. Elbert with the tying run at second. You can see something is bothering Lefevre. He's just not had the command in this inning that he had in the previous 5 innings. That one back to the screen. That's going to move everybody up a base. You can see that one was behind Elbert. No chance at all for Raiden Erickson. Now the lead run is in scoring position for Wahlert Catholic. There, the runner from second took off. There's a throw down. Now they're going to try to score the run from third, and they do. That had to be a mix-up on the bases, because Reedy, the courtesy runner, was running on the pitch. He was almost at third. And on the throwback to try to nail him, Rigopoulos comes in and steals home. All right, watch this craziness. Look at him run. Reedy is taken off. Now the catcher, Erickson, throws down. He's not in a position to come back and apply the tag. And Rigopoulos just steals a run. Just like that, we are tied. And ball 4 to Elbert. That is the 4th walk given up by Lefevre, the 3rd this inning. And now Parker Studman, the junior, and he laces one down the left field line, but foul. That would have cleared a couple. She just can't take it. I can't watch. Honey, you got to tell me what happens here. I can't watch anymore. Studman calls time. Good stop by Erickson. A drive into left center field, but the center fielder Baker runs under it right in front of the track, and the side is retired. But Wahlert Catholic puts a couple on the board. They steal a run. We are tied. We go to the top of the 7th. This is the Hy-Vee Championship Network. Wahlert Catholic and Bishop Heelan calling in all the markers in this tie game as we go to the top of the 7th inning.
Leading on the top of the 7th inning for the Crusaders, shortstop Sean.
5, 6, and 7 hitters coming up for the Bishop Heelan Crusaders. Brandon Cummer starting inning number 7. Here for head coach Corey Tischer, he is just glad that his left-hander is being able to get this far after what happened in yesterday's quarterfinal round matchup when he was in right field. Big collision out there, and he was taken off the field. Wasn't sure if he was going to be able to play today. He got the starting nod as the pitcher. His defense let him down in the 5th inning, but otherwise he's been pretty good. Both pitchers have been good. Lefebvre really struggled in that last inning. That one is rifled foul. Schaefer headed to Iowa Western for his college baseball. Well, this game's had just a little bit of everything. We've had some daring base running. We've had some questionable base running. This one hit high in the air, but this is going to go foul. Will Piero getting loose again on the Wahlert side as this one is golfed into right field and a leadoff single for Schaefer. Well, Bishop Heelan gets their leadoff man aboard, and we'll see how head coach Andy Osborne elects to play this. Schaefer is 25 of 28 in stolen bases. But Heelan's had a bunch of folks caught on the base paths today. They've lost 4 base runners to outs. Ethan Erickson 0 for 2 on the day. Junior first baseman, and he looks at a ball. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. Braden Erickson on deck. Chopped foul. 9 home runs on the year for Ethan Erickson. That is 4th best on Class 3A members. 9th overall in the state. Wind is blowing straight in from center field. This one skips by Nagelmaker, and that's going to allow Schaefer to get into scoring position on the wild pitch. Piero heating up on that Wahlert Catholic bullpen. Count goes full. Ethan Erickson looked at his third base coach, the head coach Andy Osborne, and he just kind of clapped back at him, saying, see it, hit it. A lot of gap in left center field. This one is grounded. Shortstop Elbert. Throw over, freezes the runner. Schaefer stays at second. And the first out is recorded in this top of the 7th inning. That's going to bring in the catcher, Braden Erickson. Erickson reached on an error back in the 5th inning. One of 3 errors in that 5th inning. away. Oh, excuse me, check swing. Now the count at 2-1. Three and one the count. There is a base open. Bishop Heelan has gotten some production out of the 8 and 9 hitters, Fitch and Walhop. And that is ball 4. So the first walk given up by Brandon Kummer. Now Erickson will leave for the courtesy runner Ewell.
Second baseman, Carson Fitch.
We got some speed on the base pass. Got the number 8 hitter Carson Fitch up. He singled and scored in the 3rd. Tried to sacrifice back in the 5th, reached on an error, and then he was picked off 3rd on that wild double play where Chabanos flew out to left, and then they threw behind at 3rd, caught him. But Fitch will be facing a new pitcher. That is going to do it for Brandon Kummer. He will leave, and in his place will be the junior Will Piero. So Piero will take over. We'll give you his numbers when we come back. This is the Hy-Vee Championship Network. Now the new pitcher is the right-hander Will Piero. The junior is 2-2 on the year, making his 13th appearance, his 8th out of the bullpen, a 3.36 ERA, 33 1/3 innings pitched. He has struck out 32, but he has walked 21.
Second baseman, Carson Fitch.
And Kummer will move over into right field. And Carson Fitch will be the first one to face him. And he looks at ball 1. So Kummer goes 6 1/3. He's responsible for the 2 runners that are on. Throw down, and that one is going to sail into right field, and that might plate the lead run. Around 3rd is Schaefer. He scores easily. And the 4th error of the day for Wahlert Catholic results in a run, and there could be more to come. That one never had a chance, and once it got down in that corner, Schaefer reading it, picking up his third base coach, and easily in to score the lead run. Ewell, the courtesy runner, all the way over to 3rd, and that's going to bring the Wahlert Catholic infield in. And Fitch comes up empty on that one. Foul tip, 2-2 the count. The infield is in, outfield playing in as well. 3-2. Ball 4. They've got him at the corners. The number 9 hitter, Hunter Wahlert.
Third baseman, Hunter Wahlert.
He drove in the first run of the day for Bishop Heelan with an RBI double in the third. Then came around to score on Chabanos' sacrifice fly. Infield in again. And he looks at a strike. So Will Piero comes in to pitch. Cummer, the starting pitcher, goes to right field. Right fielder Kerman, who started at second base, goes to left, and then Rigopoulos is out for right now. This one is grounded off the first baseman, Spencer Cummer's glove. That's going to, everybody is safe. Here's a throw over to third, and sliding in safely is Fitch. Another run comes in. And so a run comes in, and Bishop Heelan just trades folks on the base paths. See, this just squirts right off the glove of Spencer Cummer.
Left fielder, George Chabanos.
See the tag being held there. Meeting at the mound with head coach Corey Tischer. No activity in the bullpen. See, it's, the meeting at the mound is pretty much a one-sided conversation right now. Wahlert scored the first run of the game in the bottom of the first inning. Bishop Heelan took a 2-1 lead after 3 and then extended it to a 3-1 lead in the 5th. But then Wahlert Catholic was able to get it tied up in the bottom of the 7th. Bishop Heelan has added 2 more in the top of the 7th. And a potential for more is the top of the order, George Chabanos at the plate. And he looks at a ball. Corners are in for Wahlert Catholic. Middle infielders playing for a double play there. Chabanos started the game with a double. He's 1 for 2 today. Showing bunt. See Fitch there. He came down as far as the third baseman Studman, and that allowed him to get back easily. Two and two the count. Stays alive. Will Piero in relief in this inning. This is the third batter he has faced. Ground ball. Third over to first. That retires that batter. But Wahlert very smartly takes third with nobody covering. Fitch scores the third run of the inning, and Bishop Heelan is added to their margin. You can see where the third baseman, Studman, cuts this off. There's nobody at third as the middle infielders both went to second. And you can see Fitch scoring easily. And then Wahlert very alertly scooting over from first to third. Now Jaron Bleeker will try to add to it. Ground ball. Studman. Cross diamond. And the side is retired. But Bishop Heelan with 3 runs in the top of the 7th inning. The number 1 seed on the ropes. This is the Hy-Vee Championship Network. Well, it's the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for Wahlert Catholic. They need 3 to tie. And Brandon Comer, the sophomore, will lead things off. He started out as a pitcher, ended up in right field. Caleb Lefevre is going to try to close this one out. Lefevre, 86 pitches on the day. He had a 20-pitch 6th inning in which Wahlert Catholic was able to score a couple of runs. There is some activity in the Bishop Heelan bullpen. It's Connor Sitzman, who pitched very well in their sub-state final, is getting loosened in that Bishop Heelan bullpen. So the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. Comer 1 for 2 today. Lefevre's only surrendered 3 hits today. Out of the 3 runs scored, only 2 of them have been earned. He is having trouble locating here. Really struggled with his command in that 6th inning. And I think this might be it. So, yeah, he is really biting on that right finger. And that's usually the indication of a blister appearing. But what a job by that sophomore, Caleb Lefevre. A heck of a job by him. And, yeah, you can tell it. He's not even going to try to shake hands with anybody. Fist bumps is as good as you're going to get. And so we'll get a new pitcher into the ball game. And this is Brady Baker. So they were warming up Sitzman, but now Brady Baker, the center fielder, he's going to come on and pitch for Bishop Heelan. And that does follow form because Baker making his 9th appearance, 7 1/3 innings pitched. So he's the guy that comes in relief to shut things down. Now, he's only recorded 1 save, but a 2.86 ERA, 1-1 record. See the training staff over there looking at that right thumb or right index finger, whichever it may be. But yeah, you can see there's the blister right there, right in the crevice between the thumb and the forefinger. So he tried to give it a go, went 2-0 to Brandon Comer. And he will yield now to Baker. So Baker comes in from center field. So Fitch is going to move from second base to center field. And we have a new second baseman as Baker goes inside. And that is ball 3. Carter Beck comes into play second for Bishop Heelan. That is strike 1. Now the count goes full. Wahlert Catholic 12-3 this year in 1- and 2-run games, so they've been able to win the close ones. Trying to get this one that way. Cummer stays alive. We'll do it again at 3-2. Brandon Cummer, Carter Brandt, and Joe Hinker, the three scheduled to appear. And that is ball 4. Now Brandon Cummer is aboard. Now Spencer Cummer, the first baseman who was DH for, he is going to come to the plate.
Designated hitter, Carter Brandt.
Try to locate the hitting numbers on Spencer Cummer. He is a 200 hitter, but he has 3 home runs. Down on the count now, 0-2. Hinker is on deck. That one almost hit Cummer. This one is lifted in the air, short right field. This might find a hole, and it drops for a base hit. So Spencer Cummer off the bench, fists one into right field for a base hit. And just like that, Wahlert Catholic has the tying run at the plate. It'll look like a line drive in the scorebook. And now Joe Hinker, who is 0 for 1 today, hit by a pitch, did not start the game, came in as a pinch hitter in the 3rd inning, then took over at second base. He's a 289 hitter coming into play today. Brady Baker trying to close it out for Caleb LeFevre. LeFevre went 6 strong, but that blister on the right hand was just too much for him. 2-1 the count. Two and two. Top of the order after Hinker does something. Bishop Heelan would love to turn a double play. They've turned one already. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Pumped a fastball letter high right by Hinkle. That's going to bring up the leadoff hitter, Will Speck. He's been on base all 3 times. A walk, a single, reached on a fielder's choice. He has scored 2 of the Wahlert Catholic 3 runs. And he looks at strike 1. Beck has 3 home runs on the year. With the wind blowing in ever so slightly, that would make that very challenging today. Marion and North Polk, you've got next. See if you can give us a thrill like this one here today. Brady Baker in relief. 2-1. Fly ball into left center field. Fitch, newly installed as the center fielder, tracks it down for out number 2. See the Bishop Heelan fans just needing one more out. Bishop Heelan has not been to the championship game since 2005. That's when they won it all. Overall, 3 championship game appearances for Bishop Heelan. Alex Kerman, the last hope for Wahlert Catholic. He looks at a ball. Crusaders won the state soccer championship this year, played for the state football championship. Trying to add to it here in baseball. Kerman, ground ball. Second baseman Beck over to first, and that does it. And Bishop Heelan has pulled off the upset, and they will move into Friday's Class 3A championship. The 3-run 7th inning, the difference for the Crusaders of Bishop Heelan, and they knock off the top seed, Dubuque Wahlert Catholic. 6-3, the final. Bishop Heelan now at 34-10 on the year, and they will play in Friday's finale. We'll give you a recap when we come back. This is the Hy-Vee Championship Network.